All right, what's up, everybody? It has been a long time since I've done a Diva Disturbed live. Usually I save these for Friday, but good Lord, the blogs and the topics are hopping up so fast. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is it the end of the world? But Miss Sophia, the Diva, is going to discuss it as only she can in the best possible way that I can. Some of this stuff, I'm just like, there is still so much more growing that some of us need to do when it comes to levels of maturity. For my YouTube viewers, if this is your first time on this channel, be sure to thumbs up this video. Be sure to also subscribe to this channel if you enjoy what you're hearing, like, and seeing. This particular topic, I think the fallout happened between yesterday and today. Y'all, to be honest, I really don't watch the news probably like I should. Just because I'm tired of seeing 45 and his administration. I'm tired of hearing about what he's done. I'm like, is anybody else doing anything in the news? Apparently so. And that would be R. Kelly. Once again, he don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. And most people don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind as long as he keep writing them hit songs. Okay, be it for himself or for them. As long as y'all can step in the name of love, you're okay with R. Kelly. Now, one of my good friends has tried to compare and contrast the situation of R. Kelly as being something that we in the black community, to me, that's how it came across, that we should just kind of sweep up under the rug. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. If you are messing with children and you are using the power and your platform to abuse children, that's a problem. If you're using your power and platform to abuse and misuse anyone, be it age of consent or age of non-consent, it's a problem. And R. Kelly has a problem. We have known since, 1994, that to him, age ain't nothing but a number. Going down ain't nothing but a thing. That was a hit song for then 15-year-old Aaliyah, rest her soul. And R. Kelly wrote that song. At the time we were young, I know I was in high school, I guess, when that song came out. Let's see, 94. Yeah, I was in my senior year. Or junior year, going into my senior year. But none of us really said anything about it. Probably because back then, of course, in my age group, we probably just didn't have right good sense to recognize that someone right with a young girl singing a song about going down ain't nothing but a thing and age ain't nothing but a number. It's true. Once you're over the age of 18, age kind of just ain't a number. But what has come out is that R. Kelly basically has concubines, a harem of women that are of age of consent, allegedly. However, he has brainwashed them and manipulated them to the point to where they do not have the ability to provide said consent for themselves. He tells them where to go, how to go. He has to be referred to as daddy. He calls them his babies. They have to dress only in, jogging suits, warm-ups or whatever, because he don't want people to see the shape of their body. I was like, dude, why don't you just go ahead and go to Dubai? Get it popping there. Just wrap the girls up in hijabs, and I forgot what the proper term is, but you know, the Muslim wear. I mean, if that's what you're going for. People are arguing that these women are over age 18. My concern is because of the things we've learned about R. Kelly, that he has for some time gone back to his junior high or high school music teacher's classroom and plucked girls out of that class and showed them a good time, had a good time with them, and paid them off. Back in, the early 2000s, he was accused and prosecuted and acquitted of peeing on a 14-year-old girl that was his then protege's niece. The jurors chose not to convict him, not because they did not believe it was him. They just, for some reason, could not determine the age of the girl. Now, I don't know if the testimony that the girl's aunt Sparkle gave, they would not allow her to attest to what her niece's age was at this time. We do know that R. Kelly did approach his brother and ask him to say that it was him so he could get off. So this man has gone through before. It's just disturbing. But what was even more so disturbing in R. Kelly's behavior was this girl, Jocelyn Savage's I'm sorry. This is not a laughing matter, because if these girls are being held hostage, I would guesstimate that Mr. Kelly is possibly facing multiple counts and will probably face 25 to life for kidnapping. As you know, kidnapping tends to be a federal offense, and once the FBI gets involved, it's a problem. And there is such a thing as Stockholm Syndrome, where people, once they've been held captive for so long, they start to rely on their captor and see their captor as the only one that can protect them. It is possible to brainwash someone. If you watch the ID channel enough, there was a particular episode, I don't remember the name of the show, but a young woman was the girl in the box. They snatched her off the street, kidnapped her, and told her all these things that were going on in the world. Well, she didn't have access to TV, newspapers, nothing of that nature. So you can be brainwashed because you really don't know what's going on. It's just like being a POW in some respects. You really don't know what's going on. You're closed off from the world. Your captors can tell you one thing, but something else could be going on. Now, I don't have the ability. I probably could if I learned how to finagle, but I don't have the ability to clip out this comical, yet informative somewhat video of Tim Savage and his family and friends attesting to the fact that he believes that his 21-year-old daughter is being held captive by none other than the Pied Piper, R. Kelly. Now, the concern is she's of the age of consent, but is she? They said she went to college and things have not been the same since. But there were some interesting tidbits. First of all, I'm wondering, is Birdman his coach for his speech coach? Because I heard a lot of double talk and I was like, dude, that's the same thing. Like, are they going to ask and answer? What I want to encourage you, Mr. Tim Savage and friends, to do is to get you a good PR person, someone that is articulate and someone that can convey exactly what it is that you're trying to say, because the legitimacy of your message is being lost in the circus and how you delivered it. So during this press conference, I took some notes. All I kept thinking in my head was, is you finished or is you done? That's all I wanted to hear at that point, because he said things like, Malia, he seemed thirsty. It could be for money. It could be some legitimacy to it. Her sister seemed sincere at the end of the video. I don't know. But he said, we just want him to put the girls back where they belong. I'm like, is she a damn doll? Is she Barbie? Like, are you just saying we would like the girls returned home? That would have been better. We would like to see the girls come home so that we can love on them and get them back. Something to that. Get a lawyer. You are not Johnny Cochran, sir. You ain't even Matthew Knowles. Just no. Then he said he was going to allow certain people to speak, like his wife. And he said, this is my wife, Jonjolin. That's Jonjolin. Jonjelyn. I was like, okay, Jonjolin, perhaps they could have gotten the spelling of your name post-conference. I'm pretty sure that's what they do, but okay. She said, this is the first time we've been at this location. Okay, what other location have you been to? Okay, was there another one you had been to? Did you drop your daughter off at another location? She ended up here. Like, what are you saying? Do you know R. Kelly? I mean, y'all need to start disclosing some stuff, because when this stuff comes out that this was all a farce, if it turns out to be, y'all gonna have problems with the... Just don't do it. Malia said they made me Tired. Better yet, we can say they just made us tied. Okay, Tide. Tied. I was trying to figure out what other location. She also said, that is not the same Jocelyn we met. Did you just meet your child when is she adopted? Did you not have her? Are you a stepmother? Somebody needs to clarify these things for me, because you said you just met her. I was that you met. I mean, when she came out the womb, you were introduced. I mean, y'all, it was a hot mess. She also said that she wants her home and get her rehabilitated. She was trying to say rehabilitated. People, I need for you to stay in your lane. If you don't know how to properly speak and you want to use big words and conflate the truth about what's going on, that's a big word right there. Please don't. Just be you. Just be you. Better yet, as I've advised, get you a PR person. Hell, I could have been your spokesperson. I would have been part of the circus, you know. I'm just saying. Then there was a young woman named, I believe her name was Asante. She alleges that she too had come to know R. Kelly for about 3 years. She has resided with him. She herself has a 17-year-old daughter. I'm like, well, how the hell old are you? Because you look like you just about 25. Black don't crack. Amen. She said that she lived with and participated in a lot of the acts that she did not agree with. But she was blessed to have a strong-willed mind. Okay. So you didn't agree with these, but you participated in it. My follow-up question to her would have been, well, if you didn't agree with it, why did you continue to participate in it? But she said eventually she got tired of it, and she left. But she says that the house is set up like a dormitory. They have to get permission to come and go as they please, eat, conduct personal hygiene, speak, all of that. That's sad if this is in fact a fact. She said that she stayed in another location, the main location. She's never been to this location. She cannot recall at this time the address of the location that she stayed at. Okay. When they asked her how long has she known R. Kelly, I think she got to answer 3 years, but then she got to answer that question, but then Tim Savage, the main attraction, jumped up there and said, okay, we need to let some other people speak, but he would not allow her to answer how did she come to know R. Kelly. And I'm curious to know, did you meet him backstage? Did you meet him at the after party? I mean, because you apparently are of age to be at the after party, unlike his. What happened to his 19-year-old fiance? Was she the 19-year-old, now 20, 21? That's another thing. Why her daddy had to really think about what her age was. They said, my daughter is 21 at this time. Okay. Then he got up there trying to be prim and proper. What questions do you have and what would you like for me to answer? Well, if they're asking you questions, sir, they want you to answer the questions that are asked. Okay. It's just like getting on the stand. I have a feeling you've been on the stand before. You know what that means. He claims that, for those of you who are well-read, y'all know what Stockholm Syndrome is. His daughter has it. The reporter asked, her friend said, R. Kelly is a confirmed freak and pedophile. However, if these girls were grown when they came into contact with him, they must accept some responsibility too. True, Malia, but you know what? I seriously wonder, when did he meet these girls? I want to know. Like, did he meet them when they were like 15, 16 years old and has been grooming them for this time? I want to know. That's my only suspicion. I need more details. I need more background. When she went off to college, what happened to her? I mean, did y'all know she was messing around with R. Kelly then? Is that why she went to a school in Atlanta? I mean, what happened? We don't know. What evidence do you have? This fool said that evidence will appear in 2 to 3 days at another time set. You just gonna, what, you a musician now? You gonna pull it out of a hat? Will it come out of somebody's jacket pocket or back from behind somebody's ear? We want to know. He said that they are going to bring out the accusers to the forefront within the next 2 to 5 days. Okay, 2 to 5 days. He said they working with the local police department as well as the FBI. Then her sister, Jocelyn's sister, J-A-I, a message. She gave her a message to come home because she missed her sister and that R. Kelly must answer for his. Well, TMZ got an interview from Jocelyn Savage, and she says she tired of her family harassing her. She is so happy and she is so free and she's loving life. Okay, her life is awesome and amazing and wonderful. But why did I feel like there was somebody in your peripheral watching you and threatening you if you were to answer in a manner not pleasing to daddy? Okay, that's what I feel, Miss Jocelyn. Girl, go on and testify. I feel like she told us, number one, she is not safe, and number two, she is not in Atlanta. She's in an undisclosed location. For all we know, she could be in Chicago. Hell, what's the country that don't have extradition? Paraguay, Uruguay? One of them guays. She could be down there. We don't know. So she said, my name is Jocelyn Savage and I'm 21, about to be 22. And she's happy. She's not brainwashed. She said it just came to a point where it came to a head. She tired of her family harassing her, okay? When asked was she in Georgia, she said, I'm no. And there was a pause. And that's why I said y'all got to pay attention to how people talk. Okay. And then she says, and she starts stumbling. And she says, I wouldn't want to speak on that. That's what she said. Do you have any other roommates? And she said, no. Pause. I won't speak on that as well. And that concluded the interview. So that just makes me think that there is some validity to what seems like a circus to some of us, but there could be some legitimacy. My message to the Savage family and others, get you a good PR person. Get you someone that is articulate and that can convey your concerns. Because right now, people are thinking that you're just out for money. That's what it looks like to us. And I know you don't want to believe that that's possible, but if you really sat down and watched this video that we all painfully had to watch that made us tired and wonder how have we truly overcome much? Did you take advantage? Did your parents allow you to take advantage of the public school system? We are concerned. But that's all I have to say about R. Kelly. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to add to the discussion concerning the Pied Piper? I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, we can't deny that the man is not talented, but he wrote in his autobiography or biography where he talks about being molested from age 8 by a grown woman for a long period of time. In his preteens, he was molested by a male. Let me tell you something. In the world of psychology, or just knowing, sometimes the preyed upon becomes the predator. And it would appear to me that R. Kelly, Robert Kelly, is a predator. We also know that sometimes when people are molested, they tend to become very promiscuous. They sometimes may, maybe their sexual preference was something before, but then it becomes something else. They're bisexual, they're homosexual, however it goes. Or some people just are incapable of being in a relationship and having a healthy sex life with their partners or would-be partners because of the trauma that they've suffered. So R. Kelly's going to have to answer for some of the stuff that he's done this side or the other. He might be damn near 80 years old, sitting up there with one good eye like Bill Cosby, sitting in court being prosecuted, but he'll have to answer. Eventually this stuff will catch up to you. What is R. Kelly, 49 now? I mean, I don't know. Talent over human well-being, I guess. It's okay. It's just accepted. But I think that if this is true, handlers, y'all need to get a handle on R. Kelly and give him some help. He don't need to write another hit song. He don't need to get in another recording booth. He need to go down here to one of these nice facilities that he can afford and get some counseling and address the childhood demons that plague him in adulthood. That's all. Because the man that told you he don't see nothing wrong. And one more thing I forgot to note in this video is the fact that please stop trying to compare what R. Kelly is doing to the likes of Hugh Hefner or Larry Flint. Playboy and Hustler are established publications and media empires that have women that come in knowing that I am trying to get exposure. So, of course, I may have to take off my clothes. I may have to do things to be published in these publications and make appearances and be seen. But I seriously doubt that Hugh Hefner is trying to control these women. They choose to be with Big Daddy in the smoking jacket with his old dirty self. Oh, dirty Hugh. But either way, please stop trying to compare R. Kelly. If he had come out and said, I'm R. Kelly, I got these 5-6 women that's going to be part of the R. Kelly, whatever he wants to call it, bump and grind productions or whatever, that would make sense. Why all the secrets? Why the secret locations? I mean, it's something called contracts and consent. And I'm not talking about the waivers that you have to sign when you go into somebody's private party or whatever. I'm talking about we're going to make some cash money off of this. You will be compensated. There's a difference. What's up next? Today, more black men are in the news. Kevin Hart. Let's talk about Kevin Hart. Thank you, Keith. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I don't care what anyone has to say. Otherwise, R. Kelly is a problem. Just like, you know what, before I get into that, I've got to find the article. I'm going to look it up Well, no, let's talk about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a funny little dude, okay? I met him. He seemed cool to me. He's blowing up Hollywood. He's everywhere. He's got a beautiful new wife who has a baby on the way. And he's been busted down in Miami for allegedly or giving the look of cheating. Now, I don't know who filmed this video, but it was awfully windy down there in Miami, honey. Truth is stranger than Florida. And it appeared as if Mr. Hart was canoodling with a woman, not his wife, him and another party. I don't know. It also appeared at one point he kissed the woman. I don't know, Kevin, if this is true, for shame. And now Tory is vindicated. You did admit to cheating, and apparently you had cheated more than once during your marriage, and Tory told us, and everybody was laughing at her because we loved you so much. I still love you, Kevin, but it's just very disturbing if this is true, what's being alleged in the blogs. And your wife is pregnant, so that's definitely not a good look. My other theory about this, y'all, this is Hollywood. People with money. And really, you don't have to be people with money because, once again, y'all know I watch the ID channel. I've seen some things where people have third parties in the bed with them. They open up their marital bed to third parties. I mean, look at T.I. and Tiny. That's what's going on now. I've never been married. I know people that are married. I've sat in couples ministry. One of the things you don't want to do is open up your marital bed to third parties, because then that causes a world of trouble. And then you probably end up in divorce court, or someone could very well end up dead. For all we know, this could be a third party that him and Nico may be interviewing to come into their bed. Maybe she was part of it. We don't know. Everything is speculative right now. But what I do know is that you do not, with his type of image that he has worked so hard, and that I know his PR lady, a wonderful lady, has worked so hard to maintain. Yeah, might not want to do that, Kevin. And not only that, remember, Tory also alleged that Nico was the homewrecker. So if this is also true, remember this, ladies. The same way you got him is the same way you'll lose him. I'm just saying. Oh, if the feeling ain't the same in your body, hey, let it burn, let it burn, gonna let it burn. Y'all know that song. That's Usher. And I met Usher back in 2007 at the, what was it, Beverly Wilshire Hotel, when we were at the Escada store that had moved in there temporarily while theirs was being, I'm glad I gave him the Diva walk away. Help, Lord. There are court documents out there, so that adds to the legitimacy of this headline, that Usher Raymond, the fourth, I believe he is, or is he the third? I don't remember. Either way, he paid off a young woman that he infected with genital herpes, and he knowingly did this without disclosing to her that he had been diagnosed. The diagnosis came sometime in 2009, 2010, and this was following the divorce from Tamika. As you know, we all have thought Tamika was crazy too. We all thought he was just simply crazy for marrying Tamika. But she did allege in her divorce documents that he was known to run around. He has a high sex drive apparently, and he likes to have unprotected sex. So he shelled out $1 million to this woman, which she only got $887,000 because you lawyer fees and court fees. So Usher, naughty, naughty boy. Naughty, naughty boy. I'm so disappointed. But let us just pray. I don't know what's going on. But let me take a look real quick, because I pulled up the court document. Raymond and his doctor, on March 17th or 18th, Raymond called the woman's house with his doctor on the phone. Her mother was at home caring for her, and the two of them spoke to Raymond, his doctor, on speakerphone. And Raymond's doctor advised her mother he had been diagnosed back in 2009, 2010. I don't know what kind of relationship it was, but informed that believes Raymond learned that he was infected with the genital herpes after they started their relationship, engaged in unprotected sex. And after learning he was infected, Raymond consciously and purposely withheld the information from her and continued to have unprotected sex with her. So I guess during the course of the relationship, he found out that he had the virus and he just passed it on to her. But yeah, the settlement payment was $1.1 million. Damn, this law firm charging $3,014.66 for copy. Oh, damn. The net recovery was $1,096,985.34. The attorneys asked for 20%. They made $219,000, $397.07. You know what? I need her to get my license to practice, because that would damn near wipe out all my student loans. And then she got $887,000, I'm sorry, she gonna need a little bit more than that. But if that was the max that could be offered, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he had some type of insurance coverage. Let me see where this check came from. Well, no, it came from his bank account, Usher Raymond IV from Chase JP Morgan. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to be praying for that young lady. I'm also going to be praying for Usher, because isn't Usher remarried again? I mean, didn't he marry someone? Does she know? That's a good question. Nico and anyone else who's, from Kevin Hart, and then we got Usher and help Lord. While he was confessing, he should have been confessing that too. So we talked about R. Kelly. Mike Vick, I need for you to shut the hell up. Mike Vick, let me tell you something. When those allegations about you running a dog fighting ring came out, and I heard what the evidence was, is that it was your home, but you weren't present, and your cousin them, because you know how y'all do. As soon as you get a check, you want to help Pookie, Dookie, and Ookie Doonkie. Okay, all your cousins from around the way and the homies, you want to hook everybody up and take care of everybody, because they done supported you all this time, encouraging you to be the best player you can be. Okay, I said, well, maybe Mike Vick just took the fall for everybody. I thought that was kind of stupid, because why would you want the money person to be the person to take the fall? If anything, the cousin running this damn dog fight ring should have been the one to take the fall. But that's neither here nor there. And I love animals. I love dogs especially. Everybody who knows me knows I've never met a dog I haven't been able to love on, although I will say I am terrified of pit bulls and all them other big dogs. All I'm saying is that Mike Vick, what Colin Kaepernick is doing is something maybe you should consider doing. Yeah, you're not in the NFL, but maybe you should be speaking out more so on Black Lives Matter, because it was the black community that supported you. But all I gotta say, in the words of Jay-Z, you acting just like another OJ out here. And for those of you who have heard the song, because I don't use that term, we know there's a wonderful song called OJ. Whether you field, house, whatever, you still the N-word, is what Jay-Z had to say. What he had to say it was quite a few things, but there were some things that were very searing and very disturbing that came from Mike Vick. He said one of the things was that he feels as though the reason why Colin is still a free agent is because he has not spoke out and made clear what it is that he wants from the NFL. Okay, bet. Cool. We got that. Maybe Colin should say, hey, I want to play. Got it. No problem. Maybe it's because of how he plays. Got it. No problem. That's really not a legitimate excuse, considering that my favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys, held on to Romo past his expiration date. Honey, that milk was sour a long time ago, and he should have been cut loose. But they held on to him. That's not a legit excuse. But then when you start attacking his persona and how he looks, you're saying that maybe he needs to cut his hair. He needs to not wear cornrows. What the hell wrong with you? I mean, who are you to tell anyone what to do? You talking about, well, when I was going through my thing, I had on cornrows, gold tee, all that. People whispering in my ear that I should change my look too. I don't think Colin needs to change his look. I think that maybe you need to change your perspective, my brother. That's what I think you need to do. Maybe you need to get into the books and into whatever it is that turned Colin to become more conscious about what was going on with his own people. maybe you should have taken a stand, because it hasn't stopped. I mean, we're still getting gunned down in the streets. Black lives do still matter. It's just a little bit more calm, a little less prominent since we've got the orange Oompa Loompa in office. I'm just saying. What else did he say? Oh, he also said that Colin needs to get a damn life coach. Maybe you should offer him yours. I don't know, but I don't think he should listen to yours either. I'm just saying. I don't like that. You're telling me that I can't do my job. I mean, people got tattoos all over their bodies. I mean, they out doing things. I mean, that one dude that played for the Steelers, that big white dude, he was always busted for sexual assault. What was it? Domestic violence. I mean, but he's still playing. So all it is that it is a racial thing. It's political in the sense that it's okay. In some ways, it's almost like the NFL is saying it's okay if our players are out there committing felonies and misdemeanors, but it's not okay if our players are bringing an issue to the forefront. Then it's a problem, and we don't want those kinds of people in the NFL. That's what it looks like to be, Michael Vick. But you know what? You get along, we'll hop along. You be all right. Like Justin J said today, he talking about, I know what you don't have. You don't have a voter registration card because you're a convicted felon. That's the bottom line. That's something you probably should be fighting for right now. You should be fighting for those type of rights. Because to me, to this day, when you tell me that someone has been convicted and done time in prison, that they have paid their debt to society, but all the rights that they had before going in are no longer theirs, something ain't right about that. So maybe, Mike Vick, maybe that should be your next platform. Just food for thought from the Diva. You'll probably never see this video, but maybe someone that knows you will pass it on. There's only 6 degrees of separation that separates us. Meanwhile, in my home state of Texas, we have a crazy man who decided that he had met the love of his life online. I don't know where he met her. Was it Plenty of Fish or Tinder or wherever? But the man killed his wife, threw her in the trunk. Help, Lord. Took their daughter, okay, put her in the car and drove from Cedar Hill, I think it was, from Cedar Hill, Texas to Mansfield, Ohio to get with a new woman. Ain't that some craziness? That is why so many of us females now sitting around here now are saying, how long will we be single? I watch entirely too much ID channel. My husband will be getting the side eye every night. Not to mention there will be a nice 45 under my pillow every night in case he decides to jump food. Damn shame you gotta wonder about sleeping with one eye open, because you never know when your spouse or significant other might decide to take you out for an insurance policy or just to get with somebody else he wants to get with to maintain his lifestyle without you for her. Okay, let's see, what else did they say? So this happened in Cedar Hill. If you're from Dallas, you know that that's part of Dallas County. It's south of Dallas. Very nice neighborhood. A sergeant from the Cedar Hill Police Department told Mansfield police that Tamara had been missing from their jurisdiction for a few days, according to the court records. The sergeant also told the Ohio officers that the victim's OnStar feature in her car indicated the vehicle was in the area of 424 Woodridge Drive. Prior to towing the victim's 2015 Chevy Traverse, officers checked the trunk and found a dead woman. Damika Rucker, Dequilon's girlfriend, told police that Harris arrived at her residence around 3:30 p.m. Friday. $1 million cash bond was set Monday for him. He was charged with abuse of a corpse, a 5th-degree felony. And I don't know what that means here in Texas. If anyone here from Texas is on, y'all can tell me, like Julie might know, or Stacy, or somebody, because y'all know I know my California law. After the body was found in the rear compartment of a vehicle parked in Ohio. When he talked to the officers, he said he had not seen his wife since Thursday when he picked up the child at their residence. So this is a sick, sadistic man. All I gotta say is help, Lord, because this gotta be the end of the world. It's too much craziness going on. On a lighter note, but yet a scandalous note. To me, it's scandalous, because y'all know how I feel about Beyonce, okay? Y'all know how I feel like that is my family, even though they don't know it, okay? Because that's Cousin Bay, and you know I got Auntie Tina and Cousin Solange, and even though that's not my niece, but she got her Cousin Diva, but they can always call me Auntie Diva. Yeah. Okay. Either way, how invasive, how sick, how sadistic are you to publish somebody's damn birth certificates? These are children, okay? Rumi Carter and Sir Carter, they have no middle names according to these birth certificates that were released. They were born at UCA Medical Center. It's invasive. Yes, I did look at them, but I'm just saying, it's wrong. Why? How far will you go for a news headline? How far will you go for some click-throughs and some notoriety? That's what I want to know. I don't get it. Like, that's so invasive. Like, give the kids an opportunity to make their own determination whether they even want to publish their birth certificates. Like, who does that? I just think it's invasive. Yes, it is a matter of public record, I think. But how far would you go to access that? I mean, I know you can get anybody's death certificates. You can always order those. Birth certificates for Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids? Really? Like, what's up with that? That is so disturbing on so many levels. But I'm pray for y'all out there like, I'm a Bayhiver. As a matter of fact, I quote myself as saying I'm part of the Bagency. But I don't need to know that. If Beyonce and Jay-Z want to share that, they could. She gave y'all a 1-month picture showing the twins saying they were born June 13th, 2017. What more did you need? You went to the Trademark and Copyright Office, the USPTO, to find out that their names had been trademarked. Hell, I'm thinking now, maybe I need to trademark my name. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about that. Is that too far in pulling celebrities' children's birth certificates? Just to find out. Just to be, hey, we got them. I mean, I don't get that. But there was a lot covered here. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to talk about that's here on the live feed right now? Because don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, there is something. I know I'm late to the plate. Oh, and that's another thing. Caitlyn Jenner. What Tokyo Tony said was highly inappropriate and offensive and transphobic about you. But at the same time, I have no respect for you, and no one in the trans community should have respect for you, quite frankly, because you don't support the rights you should be supporting. I'm like, you do realize you one of them. But what I didn't like is when I was watching The View, and ignorant folk are going to be ignorant. And you can't help that. Even if they on TV supposed to be reporting the news and discussing intellectual topics, they don't know any better. So someone was announcing the names of Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids. And when they asked Caitlyn what he thought about him, he kind of had this look on his face, like, or her face, like, it's so hard for me to, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not trying to be offensive. It's so hard for me to refer to him as a her, because I just don't believe the legitimacy of this whole trans thing. I really think they doing something strange for a little piece of change. But he kind of looked like, Rumi, sir. I was like, do you know who Rumi is, sir? Do you know? I knew who Rumi, when they announced the names, I immediately knew. I said, oh my God, they just picked the poet's name. Now, sir, I didn't realize that sir was a famous poem by Rumi. But be educated before you react. I mean, it's not like they pulled these names out the clouds like North and say, and even somebody pointed that out to Caitlyn, that, well, in your family, y'all have these names. And she was like, well, yeah, that's true. But, you know, I didn't pick those names. And I'm just like, I don't think most people would have named their children directions Northwest. Okay. But I've heard stranger names, because somebody was telling me, oh, Sonny on there was saying, I think that she said her name was Ascension or something like that, Ascension or something, the lawyer that's on there. Thank you guys for rocking with the Diva. Thank you all for joining. This is just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But at the end of the day, y'all, we have to be real about R. Kelly. He is a monster. He is a predator. And even if those girls are of age, and he has taken them hostage and made them feel like they cannot leave, it's a problem. Now, like my friend said earlier, if y'all willingly went with this man and y'all know what he's about, you got to take some ownership too. But if it's a situation where he locked them up and they like, we just came for the party and we didn't know that we were going to have to stay for the after party until infinity and beyond, then what can we do? I mean, if your life is being threatened, what are you going to do? But I think that's all I've got. I pray for this world. It's sick. Like I said, I haven't been watching the news. That's why my friend Timmy was like, are you behind? I was like, girl, I don't even watch the news like that because I can't handle it anymore. It's like every time I look, it's always something dumb. I think the latest thing was them trying to steal appeal the Affordable Care Act, and idiots keep referring to it as Obamacare. I'm just like, okay, that's the nickname, but the real name is Affordable Care Act, and people need affordable health care and not this bull that you gave them. You should have just went on and made health care free for everyone that needed it, and then we wouldn't be in this quagmire. But y'all want to be big and bad. Anytime Democrats propose something, y'all want to run over it. Democrats want to sit there and be all feeble-minded and just weak-minded and not fight for anything. I mean, I get it. That's why some people have started new parties, but it's going to take a lot of us to come together and try to create new political parties that can bring about change and actually get seats that count and matter. Oh, wait a minute before I go. Y'all, what's that judge in Houston's name that we were talking about earlier? Harris County judge. Okay, so this is another disturbing thing. And like many of us have said, it sucks when it's one of us. And I was like, girl, can I get your license to practice? Because I will move to Texas in a heartbeat to practice law at this point. Because California is way too expensive. They need to cut these prices. And I knew some of my friends would know who she was because some of my friends actually practice in Houston. So an embattled Harris County judge is off the bench following misconduct accusations, including drug abuse and solicitation of sex. By order of the Texas Supreme Court, Judge Hillary H. Green has been suspended without pay. The suspension is effective immediately. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct initiated the formal proceedings against Green based on years of complaints. She was a Justice of the Peace for Precinct 7. She was reelected last November. So basically, this woman was married. Her ex-husband, and I guess her side dude, who became her man, alleged that she bought prostitutes for them. They alleged that she solicited her bailiff to go get drugs and use code words. There are text messages out there where she allegedly used these code words, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is just terrible. And then what makes it even worse, y'all, I can't even hide that, because if you pull up her profile, clearly she's one of my sorority sisters, and that's even more so embarrassing. But like, we all say in the community, when you do that, you embarrass all of us. You knew better. You know better. You just wilding out. Girl, how much did you pay for that degree? Or how hard did you work to get it? Even if you didn't pay for it. Do you know how hard it is to get a law degree? Blood, sweat, and tears. Hell, I remember laying out on the floor one night and had a complete meltdown because I was studying for agency and partnership and just didn't think I would even be able to pass the damn exam. It's hard work. Get it together, Hillary. What were you thinking? Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Let me pull this up because y'all know. Weed, ecstasy, and prostitutes are the allegations against a Houston judge. What are the allegations? Green admitted to smoking pot and taking X. Okay. She took it 4 or 5 times between 2010 and 2014. And this came from her ex-boyfriend. Okay. In a sworn affidavit, Barnes told the commission he and Green used the code word Skittles when texting about ecstasy, and that they did it 3 times with Barnes paying for it twice. She denies paying. Barnes even told the commission that Green's courtroom bailiff once took marijuana off a kid in her courtroom and gave it to her. Y'all, not only this, they alleged that the girl was sipping on some scissor. She on that lean. Green told the commission she started taking Tussinex in 2009. This is a prescribed, I guess, more stronger version of essentially Robitussin. To help her sleep at night, and took it every night that year. She admitted to doctor shopping to obtain prescriptions from 2 or 3 doctors though the commission voiced skepticism as to whether Green always had a prescription over the 7 years she used the drugs. When she tried to wean herself off the drug, she had to go to a doctor for withdrawal symptoms, including nausea and depression. The diagnosis came from the doctor. It was a misuse of medication. But Green denies that this misuse of Tucson has ever affected her professional duties as a judge. She engaged in extensive sexualized text messages and tried to buy drugs from her bailiff. They said she was sexting on the bench, okay, while she was listening. She used the word cookie dough, bolts, and screws for the drug in her secret text message regarding Tussonix, because she sent him out to buy some, okay. The boyfriend and her ex, but she says they bitter. I believe that too, girl. You gotta watch who you associate with. They threw your behind under the bus. They don't cost you your job and probably your license to practice. But honestly, you ain't done nothing as horrible as one of my former law school classmates, baby. This fool done stole from a 90-some-year-old woman, and it sounded like they were in some sort of relationship. Either way, he ain't got no license no more, but he did get busted hanging out with his daughter and her friend. They all in bed together, and they had been drinking. But either way, that's another story for a different time. Help, Lord. They said one time she paid $150 to a female prostitute in Houston for her services, and another time hired a prostitute in Austin and paid her $200. The irony of Green's admissions was clearly not lost to the commission. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. They said that you were also involved in deciding cases involving Class C misdemeanors. Correct. She said absolutely. And some of those cases would involve drugs. Correct. She said yes. And so I'm just thinking, you're the judge here and you're abusing drugs and you are sentencing people, finding them and judging these people for the crimes they have committed. And yes, you are committing that same crime. Yes, ma'am. Don, this is a judge that was sitting down in Harris County in Precinct 7 as a Justice of the Peace, Hillary Green. Now, in her defense, the lawyer in me says, well, how can we judge if we have never experienced? Okay, too deep. Am I reaching? Am I reaching? That went too far. I'm going to go get in the corner. But all I'm saying is that, come on now, at least she know why they were on drugs and why it's so hard. Maybe they need to go to, what is it we used to send them to we used to send them to drug court to get help. When I was at the public defender's office, the DA would agree to send them off to drug court. Maybe she just need to be rehabilitated. Perhaps she falls under the protections of the Americans with Disability Act. I don't know. All I know is, again, Miss Hillary Green, I even hate to say this, soror, that was foul and that was wrong. I'm going to pray for you, though. Maybe you can get a second chance. But I just don't understand why you going left and we trying to all go right. I don't understand that. That was an embarrassment to the community. But I've had this video go on far too long. And so I want to thank all of you for joining me. I want to thank my good girlfriend, Malia, for joining me. She out there doing the damn thing. I tell you one thing, she ain't going to be without her law license. I know that's right. Come on, sis. Soror, Maya, Coco, Stacy, who else? Keith, Andrea. Thank you guys for joining. Timmy, Anika, Niqua, my cousin Greg, Crystal, Carlos. That's another one. He ain't going to let his law license go. Angie and Don and Kenton. Another one, they ain't gonna let his law license go either. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Oh, shout out to my little sister. I saw she had, you know what, Angie? I just read, wait a minute. What'd she say? Dawn. Okay, thank you for joining. That's my other sister. But my little sister, Miss Jada, she joined also. Angie, why did I just catch what you just wrote? You said Passages in Malibu has an opening. Yes, do they also help people with sex addiction? There's actually a good facility here in the middle of nowhere in Texas. I forgot the name, but I will get it for some of y'all, because Usher, I think you need it. R. Kelly, you need it. Hillary, you might want pooch through too. I'm just saying. But addictions, that's a problem. I'm not going to judge people too harshly, but at the same time, you adults, you know better. Okay? I'm praying for y'all. But I have been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you guys for joining. Subscribe, comment, like, and you guys have been all that.